Well, good morning. Nice night here at Royden Island. Sun's up, a little bit of swell getting in here now, so we're just going to skip down the west side of Flinders and see what there is to offer down there.
Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat, and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't. That's Wyberlena Island out there. It shows on the chart that there is deep enough water to get through in between it and Flinders, but a few little obstacles in there, so we're just going around and then we'll alter course and head across to Whitemark. Pretty good day today. The wind's still a bit southwest, but forecast to go round to the southeast later this morning, so we'll stay on the west coast of Flinders, and that'll give us a bit of a lee, so it should be pretty good travelling down here. What do you have, coconut yolk? So this is the Whitemark Distillery. Thank you.
Open bar, bookshop, TAB. Oh, no, it's a bottle shop.
Okay, I'm with Joe at the Flinders Wharf Cafe. We've just come into Flinders. You've got to come in here at high tide. but we've got about an hour, we reckon, and Joe's making us a cup of coffee. So what's the go here, Joe?
Yeah, it's great. We've been here for about 4 years. We've lived on the island for about 10 years. We own a cattle farm up north. But yeah, we're open sort of Wednesday to Sunday here for coffee, food, and we've got a great larder. We also open 7 days a week for online retail and food orders as well for people coming to Flinders.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to a coffee.
Yes, great. I think you need one. It's good. You guys have probably been up pretty early. So.
Yeah. Coffee. Good ice cream, kids. That was a good little excursion into White Mark. You've got to do it on high tide though, very shallow. We've just clawed out back into deep water. We came across the banks there with about 1.7, so we wouldn't have wanted to leave it too much later to get away from the jetty there. And we would have had to anchor right out here to get deep water, so we'd be a long way off the beach if we wanted to stay here overnight. The wind's gone around to the southeast now, which was forecast, so now we're going to head to Badger Island. Is it?
Yeah.
Badger Island, and we'll spend the night there. And then a big day tomorrow to Launceston. Mount Chapel Island, and at the moment it's getting us out of the sea. So it's nice and calm in behind here, and we're just going to run up beside the island. We're in 14 metres of water. Got to be a little bit careful navigating through here, but it's quite deep, and it gets you out of the southeaster. Looks like a couple of little good beaches here too, but we're going to push on a little bit further to Badger Island. So it's goodbye to Badger Island, and we've just got to crawl up around the top of it now, around the east side of it, and then we'll plot a course for mainland Tasmania. 10 hours to the Tamar. The wind has dropped out quite a bit this morning, so should be a bit more pleasant for the trip across. We've got a bit of a long one, we want it to be pretty good, so we'll get round the top here and see how it's all going, and hopefully get the sail out and make it a bit quicker. So this is the Goose Island light, and that's goodbye to the Furno group. So we've just left Badger Island. Once we clear Goose, it's open Bass Strait until we get to the mouth of the Tamar at Georgetown. About 10 hours away. Okay, so the wind's dropped out by about probably 10 knots. The travelling's a lot more comfortable, but we have lost boat speed, so we're down about 6.5 now. But we had a good run there. We probably average about 7 knots for the first 3 or 4 hours of the trip, so it certainly makes a big difference. Anyway, we've got about 6 hours to run now and into the Tamar. But when it gets pleasant like this, it's probably a little bit easier to travel anyway, so we'll just enjoy it. Well, what a difference an hour or two makes. Scooting along at 7 knots with a bit of breeze from behind. Now the wind's dropped right out, it's just very light and fluky, and we're down to 5.5, so that's our motor speed. So that's added an hour or so to the trip. Another 5 hours to go now, but pretty pleasant travelling with this type of wind. Very calm. A little bit more sun would be good, but we're in Tassie. What's for brekkie, Eve? Scrambled eggs. Yummo. Go the other way if you want, Frog. Yep. Hello. Hello, Frog. Okay, well, we've had the sail wound up for 3 hours, I think, and now the wind's come up from the north.
We're up to 8 knots.
8.
Kidding. You wish. Nah, you're at 4.8.
4.8? No, we're not. They're getting some false information from the crew coming out here. Just go back and sunbake, all right? Anyway, yeah, we've got the sail back out. It's a bit of northerly now, so that's going to help us a bit and make our time a little bit shorter. I think we've gone from doing about 5 or 4.8, 6.3, so definitely helps. Now, I've been very lucky on this trip because I've had a couple of great little sailors to help me get across Bass Strait. And these kids should feel pretty special because there's not too many kids at that age that would probably come across Bass Strait, and they've done a great job. They've been really good little sailors and they've been excellent to have on the boat. They've stood their watches, they've learned how to drive the dinghy, done lots of things. I'm just going to ask them what they think the best thing was about the trip. Okay, Stella, what do you think was the best thing about the trip?
Probably seeing the dolphins and all of the islands.
What island do you think you liked the best?
Deal Island with all the rocks and the snorkeling and the really soft sand.
And Ethan, what are your memories of the trip?
I really like just coming down to Bass Strait on your boat and stopping at all the amazing islands and seeing all the animals along the way.
Well, we've nearly finished our trip. We're just coming up to the Tamar River now, and we're going to go in and probably tie up at the pontoon at Georgetown, and I think maybe a pub meal tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to head up the river to Launceston. So it's been great having the kids and the grandkids on board. This is my daughter Elizabeth, who's been on the trip with her husband Justin as well. What did you think about it, Frog?
It's been fantastic. It's been lovely to get back on the boat again and get some sea time up with the kids.
Well, next time you come on board, it's going to be somewhere warm.
Yeah, that'd be really nice. We've had a few days of sunshine, but not too many, so it'd be lovely to come and meet you up at GKI or somewhere and not worry about the wetsuits.
Well, that's low head up in front of us, the entrance to the Tamar River. So that's Bass Strait done and dusted one more time. It was great having the kids on board. We've had a lovely time coming across, visited some great spots. First time Peggy-Anne's been to Deal Island. Only I think the third time I've been there, but the first time I've had this boat there, so that was great. And even Badger, I haven't been down that side of Flinders either, so that was all good to do. Now in the Tamar, I've been in here once before, and we're going to go down to Beauty Point and maybe Port Dalrymple and try and get a berth for the night and do a pub meal. Looks like being the order of the day. We've timed it pretty well. The tide's going to be running into the Tamar, so we'll pick up a bit of speed on that. And we've held the sail for the last 3 or 4 hours, so I think even when we get in the river we'll be able to hold it as we run up the river with the wind behind us. So yeah, good to be here, and we'll set foot in Tassie in not too much time. First time tied up in what, 2 weeks? An early start the next morning, we leave the public pontoon at Beauty Point and head just around the corner to the Port Dalrymple Yacht Club, where we've got a berth organised. Kids have got to get going, so. Well, this crew are leaving to head back to sunny Victoria. So this is the Beauty Point bus stop. All aboard. Well, I've tried about 5 different hire car companies. No bananas. So we're going to be on the bus, which is pretty good. So about an hour to Launceston from Beauty Point. And the thing about Beauty Point is there's a laundromat there. I'll be able to get some washing done. I can fuel the boat up. There's a pub. I can go and have a few beers and the odd meal. And probably coffee in the morning. So it's all looking good, and it's nice and quiet out here. I'll be better off than being in the big smoke. Anyway, we're on the bus heading into Lonnie now. Well, this is my backyard at Port Dalrymple, Beauty Point. I'm at the yacht club here. They're a really friendly mob. I can get fuel on the dock. There's a regatta going at the moment, so the bar's open every afternoon. You can go up and have a beer, and even had a pizza there last night. Tomorrow I've got a bit of work on, a few jobs on the boat. But then Monday night, Wombi flies in about 8 o'clock. So Az from Taz is picking me up. He's going to drive us into the airport at Launceston, and we'll pick Wombi up. It'll be good to have her back on the boat. And then we'll look for some weather for heading down the east coast of this magnificent little island. You know, there's only 250,000 people live here, and it's so friendly, it's just great. I'd love to stay here for a whole season, but I think winter would nearly kill me. And pretty soon we'll be off on our way to Hobart. Thanks for watching, dudes. Next week, Wombi's back on board and we're heading for the east coast.